Angus and Andrew, welcome to Noise11.com. It's great to talk to you. Caught in the Crossfire is the name of the band, and you're from Geelong, and you're involved in the Songmakers program. So good to have you here at Noise11.
Good to be here.
Thanks so much.
So we're going to be talking about songwriting, and in particular, what first inspired you to start writing songs, and what motivates you to want to perform those songs and share your music today?
I grew up around music. My dad's a musician. I've always loved it, and also storytelling and all that. So that kind of motivates me, and just that whole scene. I love being around it. So yeah.
Well, yeah, I grew up with music. I grew up with a lot of. My dad loves his rock and roll and his metal, so I grew up on that. And then one day, I picked up a guitar. I was like, you know what? I love this. This is so fun. You know, I wasn't good at it back then. Probably not that any better now, but it was great fun. I loved it. I love being able to tell my stories. And then I met Angus and Brendan, and we started playing together a few years back. And I just as recent, we sort of, you know, got together, started writing songs and stuff. And yeah, I just found my love for it when I was a kid, I suppose.
When you picture yourself as an artist, what do you want people to feel from the music that you create?
I feel like it's very subjective, really. If they feel something, that's amazing. The intention of the song, if they understand what we're trying to say, I guess. If they feel happy, that's, yeah, I don't know. Really just whatever we're trying to get them to feel. If they feel that, perfect.
Honestly, everyone who listens to media or art or whatever, they should think of this and think of that. I just want people to be able to connect to it with their own stories, whether it's what we meant it to be, or whether it is like completely different. Because we wrote a song called No Rest of Fame, and it's about some famous guy, you know, trying to get his life back together. And I showed my mum, and she thought it was, you know, someone losing their friendships and their family and having mental health struggles.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know, yeah, it's
very subjective.
It is. And that's what I respect about it.
Yeah.
You know?
What artists or songwriters have influenced you guys?
Silverchair, 100%. What else?
A bit of yeah, lots of Silverchair, like a lot of kind of 90s grunge bands.
Yeah. Like Pearl Jam, Silverchair. What else? A bit of new metal as well. Linkin Park, Limp Bizkit, and like thick rock, like Black Sabbath, Kiss. Yeah.
Wow.
100%.
A lot of people from before you were born there.
Yeah.
That's just kind of what we grew up on, I suppose.
Yeah, we did. Our parents, we thank them for that.
When you sit down to write a song, what sparks the idea?
Really, whatever's happening at the time, whether it's something on the news or something I'm going through personally, or even a friend. If I know a friend's going through something, sometimes it might be like out of my jurisdiction to write about that, but it kind of sparks something. Or even just having fun with it and just writing. Yeah, sometimes a good song comes from just having fun and being funny and having a laugh to yourself, really.
Yeah, because I was doing the exact same thing today, just writing some stupid lyrics and
just mucking around.
Yeah, it was just have fun with it, or else it's draining, I suppose, you know.
So how do you go about creating and translating that emotion into a song?
When we wrote our latest song, we kind of just had to sit down at the whiteboard. We had like a whiteboard.
Yeah, bit of brainstorming.
And we just, one of us said something and that clicked the spark on everyone else.
Yeah.
And then we just ended up painting a picture, like a very detailed picture, but within lyrics, within words.
Yeah, we kind of brainstorm and then bounce off each other. And it all kind of goes from there. Like someone might say, oh, I've thought of this. And then they start playing their thing, and then another person might add on to it. And then it all just kind of builds, really. Yeah.
Do you usually start with the lyric, the melody, or the chords?
I always start with the chords because I'm best at writing on guitar. And then sometimes I'll record it and then listen to, and then like write lyrics just over that. And find a melody. Yeah.
Because what we typically do is we typically get like a looper, the loop pedal, and we just play those chords over it and just think and sit there. Once we sat there for like 2 hours just trying to think of words
Yeah.
while the loop is going on. It was annoying some people, but
It works for us. It
yeah,
works.
it works for us.
Yeah.
I just muck around and play a bit of chords, bit of riffs, whatever. And if I go, hang on, I actually like that, then that's just what we use, I suppose.
Have you discovered along the way that sometimes when you get an idea for a song, by the time that song is completed, it's completely different to the original idea?
All the time.
100%.
All the time. The other day, actually, we were rehearsing, and I come up with the crazy idea to change the vibe of the start of the song to more powerful and to
in your face.
Yeah, and it fit with the rest of the song way better. And so I don't know. I feel like if a song's not progressing, then it's almost just naturally going to progress and change as you go with it until it's something you're happy with, I feel.
What challenges do you face when you're finishing a song? How do you know when it's finished? How do you know when it's completed?
To me personally, when I feel like me and Angus are a bit of a little perfectionist.
Yeah.
Like, we'll be writing and recording something and it'll be done. And all of a sudden, why don't we do this? And then we get these ideas and this idea. That's exactly what happened with what we just talked about just then. Yeah.
I think another part is also performing it and getting people's feedback, because then
100%, yeah.
you know what they're feeling, because you might be a bit unsure about a part and then everyone else in the room loves it. So I feel like performing a song is a really good indicator to see if it needs a little bit more or a little bit less, or if it's perfect. And then, yeah.
When you're writing a song, do you write it with performance in mind?
Most of the time.
I always think about, if you can't play this to an audience, why bother, playing it? Because when I think of writing music, I think of showing it to somebody or performing in front of a crowd, whether that's 10 or 30 or 50 people or however much, If it can't be a good experience for them, then that's all that matters to me personally.
Yeah, and I definitely do think about how I could use the song to interact with people, whether it's a space without guitar to interact with the audience or whatever. I do think about how it would sound being performed and what could be filled in the spaces and stuff.
And when people see you live, what do you want people to walk away with, a message, with a feeling, when they've just witnessed Caught in the Crossfire for the first time? We
all, including Brendan, he's not here, but I'm going to talk for Brendan. I think we definitely want people to connect with what we are and our songs and our lyrics, and it like we were saying earlier, whether it's how we intended or however they intend it. I think we want people to feel some kind of strong emotion and connection. Yeah. Do you have anything?
That's probably all said. Well said. Just I also feel that when I go watch live music and local bands play, and how I want our audience, the only thing I want them to feel is also connection, have a good time and be safe, and also have a feeling of wanting local music back, local music, and just boosting everyone,
Yeah, that's good.
Become as one community.
Well, Angus and Andrew, it's been great to talk to you here at Noise11. Good luck with the Songmakers program. It's going to be exciting for you to get up and perform in Melbourne.
We're so excited. Thank you so much.